Don't know why that happened. All right. We're having some technical difficulties today. Welcome to the bot signal. Welcome, my friends. Today, we're going to talk about making your marketing matter through personalizing your messages. Let's make the blast a thing of the past. Really. We all know how tired we are of the blast. And yet, it remains the single most recommended thing out there when it's like, get a hold of people. Blast a message. So, my friends, today we're going to cover a couple of methods on how to personalize your marketing and make it truly matter. Yesterday, we talked about targets. We talked about how, who are you targeting? What are you doing there? Why do we need to target? So today we're going to talk about what do we do with those targets? We personalize messages. Now, if you don't know me, my name is RJ Redden. Entrepreneurs hire me to skyrocket their engagement because most feel like they're shouting into a black hole, or they're a carbon copy of everyone else on the internet, and they have a terrible time getting traction online. So I create epic engagement experiences that get people to click that button, connect with you, and convert like crazy. So, my friends, today, personalization. Why is this important? Let's talk about that first. It's important to do because people are starting to expect that nowadays. People nowadays. Wow, that really sounds like an old word, doesn't it? People are starting to expect that. And it's a lot more than just your, using somebody's first name in an email. It is sending targeted messages to your target audience. Now, if this sounds like a lot of work, it is. It's a lot more work than simply recording a message for everybody, hitting send, and hoping that covers it. Now, I do that myself. I absolutely do. Every once in a while, I'll send out a little, bot camp. I'll send out a little update on how Black Belt Bots is doing and what we got coming up in the future. Every once in a while, I'll do that. And that's fine. I send it to the entire list. I send it to, so many people do this, and it's okay to do. If that's your primary form of communication, though, I want you to start thinking about it differently. Now, only if you want better results. You can totally do the same thing over and over if you want to. Hey, free country, totally will let you do that. No recriminations from me. But if you want something that has a better result, it's going to take more work on the front end. Now, marketers talk a lot about get more people on your list, right? But they also talk about keeping a clean list, and they also talk about segmenting the list. Now, what does all that mean? What does all that mean in a context now where we're not just collecting names on an email list, but we are also finding other ways to reach them? We are looking at omni-channel. Omni-channel, again, is reaching people where they're at, whether that's they've been communicating to you through text, Facebook Messenger, email, wherever they're getting a hold of you, we should absolutely be reaching out to them. So in today's omni-channel world that is increasingly personalized, how do we segment our audience? Which means putting people in categories. That is exactly what it means. It means putting people in different categories and tagging them. That's all it is. But when we're looking at a list, and some people are on a bot list, and some people are on an email list, and some people are on, all of the places that your people can be, all of the places that your community resides. How do we gather all of that up in one place? How do we start tagging people so that when I have a message to send out over SMS, I'm first of all getting the SMS people. And secondly, I am also targeting the people who are interested in the particular thing that I'm communicating about. I split my audience into, 3 categories. This is kind of the most basic level, but just want to give you an example here because some of this is a little hard to understand unless you've done it before, unless you have experience doing this. And that is this. I split my folks into, these people would be better for private services, one-on-one stuff. These people here would be better with the DIY, the people who want to learn this for themselves, maybe want to start their own marketing agency, that type of stuff. So we've got private services, DIY, and then we've got both. We've got people who might be interested in both, people who, and that's a smaller category, obviously, but people who might be interested in private services, but also want to take my class because that will teach them, that will give them a bigger context of what I'm doing so that when they're, when they're off doing it by themselves, they'll do a better job, or when they're managing somebody that has taken over the project, that will go smoothly, or maybe they just want to get context so that they can help brainstorm and figure out new, cool, crazy ideas. So 3 main categories, and then it splits off from there. I want to record all types of things when people are talking to me, when people are going through some of my interactive freebies, bots, quizzes. Soon we'll have an interactive video as well. Cannot wait. It's going to be hilarious. Anyway, so when people are going through my channels of communication, if you will, and I know you would, then I want to record that journey. I want to know, what choices they're making. I want to know beyond those big 3 categories, right? And so I'm recording those choices. What I do, and this goes a little bit more technical than I usually go, but I create tags, and those tags will tell me a whole lot about that person. So segmenting your audience is nothing more than putting them into categories according to what you think they're going to want from you, what you think they're going to value, and what the path that they've taken through your communication so far. That's what segmenting your audience is. For me, it means much, much more than segmenting an email list. Not everybody in my tribe is on my email list, you guys. And it's okay, because some of them would rather communicate a different way. In this great big world of ours, okay, who remembers Stuart Smalley? Put it in the comments if you do. Who remembers Stuart Smalley? And he was that guy, Saturday Night Live, Al Franken. He's a Minnesota senator now. At any rate, at one point, that man was on Saturday Night Live. And he would play a character called Stuart Smalley, who would say in the mirror, it was the Stuart Smalley Show was his little skit on SNL, and his pretty big time skit on SNL. And he would say in a mirror, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. So that's the guy I'm talking about. Great big blonde wig, sweet little sweater vest, almost always a sweater vest, and he would say that into the mirror. So if that brings that into recognition for you. So Stuart would say, it is easier to put slippers on than it is to carpet the world. And what that means is this, and this is the lesson, the great big lesson to take from today, courtesy of Stuart. It is that we don't need it. We don't need we don't need the people to adjust to us. We need to adjust to the people that we are trying to reach out to, build a relationship with, and communicate with. Duh, right? I mean, this is the way. Now I just switched to the Mandalorian, everybody. Anyway, I'm just fandoming all over the place this morning. So what that means is that demanding that everybody come on our email list in order to be counted and important in our lives is ridiculous. Sometimes people don't want email. Hey, sometimes I don't want email. I don't. So, why aren't we adjusting our view of this? Why aren't we adjusting to the point that instead of the great big email list, I'm actually keeping my tribe, my people that I want to communicate with? Why am I not keeping them in a database, in a centralized place where I can keep all of those tags? And then I can take I can add to the email list if they want email from me. I can add them to the SMS list if they want SMS from me. Why aren't we doing this? We're still trying to carpet the world. We're still trying to force everybody onto an email list. I get it. But let me say this. There is a way to organize this data that does not depend on email in, email out every single day. People want to hear from us in different ways. This is that omni-channel thing again. And I've talked about this omni-channel stuff before. If you missed that show, go back in the archives, dig that bad boy out, and see what's going on with omni-channel. But why aren't we keeping that in a centralized list and then communicating with people how they want to be communicated with and where they want to be communicated with? To me, that's what segmenting your list really means. Let's really put it where people want to see it in a format that they like to communicate in. So, okay, that was a lot of rant. Let me catch up on the comments. I remember that. A, I remember that, LOL. B, he's not a senator anymore. He was forced out a few years ago. Oh, okay. Well, that's sad. I really liked what he was doing. Anyway, so Al Franken, my hero, people. Anyway, so what does this have to do with personalizing? If as somebody told me this last night, I was hanging out with a couple of really awesome folks of true awesomeness, okay? And they were talking about if you bought something that was, a necklace that cost $10,000 or something crazy, and the people that were selling it to you went, great, rang you up, and then tossed it in a paper bag for you. Be odd, wouldn't it? It'd be odd. And they were using that example in terms of branding, is that, with your branding, and listen to me right now, with your branding, you have got to look the part. You've got to. We do this inside the bots with people. When they come to us, we make them an avatar and all of that kind of stuff. But you absolutely have to look the part on your website, with your social media, it needs to be coherent and say the same thing in order to get people to trust you. And so branding is another conversation for another day. I'm actually going to have those people on the show this February, so watch out for that. For me, the personalization comes first when I am talking to you on the channel that you've requested, and I'm doing it in the way that you've requested it. I want to stay there, and I'm wanting to get to you with messages that matter. The name of the show today, Want Your Marketing to Matter. We want our marketing to matter, and that's what people are laying awake at night thinking about. Is, okay, I'm putting out this content. I'm doing what everybody says to do. I'm building my list, but it seems like I'm getting nothing back from this. I get why. What we need to do is stop thinking about the blast. Stop considering that the blast is the end all, be all to call attention to everything that you're doing. Start thinking about messaging to groups. Start thinking about not the whole thing about you've got to stay on top of their mind when they sign up to your email list. You've got to have 5 emails that come out daily and talk about your products and what you do, and at the end has to be an offer. Let's just stop that recording in its tracks, shall we? I really should have a sound effect of a record, like doing a thing, or maybe not. Maybe that would be a bad sound to have to deal with headphones. Anyway, let us go back. Let us go and make this a personalized, individualized thing. Now, I've been talking about segmenting your list. I've been talking about keeping your list in a database. Those are awfully technical things. Of course, these are things that I'm going to be covering in my class, which is coming up. 20th of January is when that bad boy is released upon the world. I have early bird pricing through the end of the year. If you're interested, I believe that link is in the comments. Somebody tell me if the link is not. And I'll throw it in the comments here, but the link should be in the description. So that is something I'll go more deeply into in the class, because I try not to get into real technical topics here on the show. It tends to be a little boring for people who aren't technical, which I totally get. But here's what you can do for personalization now. You can, through video, record messages for people who sign up for your stuff. For people who, you haven't heard from in a while, for people who are having a birthday, you can personalize messages to people. You don't have to have, and this is something that takes kind of lower effort. I interviewed a lady on the show a while back who creates personalized gift packages for people. And for clients that have maybe been with you a long time, or for people that, have signed up for something. This is cool stuff. This is stuff that people look at and go, wow, this person really kind of cares about me. You know what I mean? And 'tis the season for that, right? You can individualize things much more easy than, the whole project I was talking about earlier. Let's segment your list. Let's get it out into a database type of a thing. If you're looking for a database to do all of that with, there is one that is on there is one that's on the horizon that I think is worth checking out. That is, there's a lot of databases out there that are like, you got to have a freaking degree to understand how to use them. Airtable is one that is worth checking out. It's worth checking out. It is much more user-friendly, less, absolute technology. Let's learn some coding today, and more humanized, more Okay, this is how stuff comes in and out of here. So Airtable, go check it out if you're interested in doing that. But if you're interested in just personalizing, just let's make some more of that happen today, then the following is for you. Put choices in. Put choices in different paths in. Again, when people are going through your stuff, if they have a choice, if they're not all being herded like cattle through the same gate, then that's a wonderful thing. People are tired of being herded. They're tired of getting the blasts. They're tired of being treated like a number on a list somewhere. They could care less about getting the next blasted message, okay? Especially if your messages sound all the same. Anyway, so how can you personalize today? How can you look at your stuff and go, what do I need to do here? The thing is, you've got to add some different journeys in there. You've got to add some different ways that people can make it through your products and services, and even your top of funnel activities, even your, this is how people sign up to get on my list. Can you give them a choice about things that they want to do in that sign up process? Can you stop right there, not do the easy thing and carbon copy what everybody else has on the top of the funnel? Can you, and the answer is yes, can you do a little bit more work and allow people some choices through those options? You can. You can. And listen, if you're willing to put the work in, then that in the long run is going to pay off so much. Listen, again, how many people do you really need to be involved with, to be in a business relationship with? How many people do you really need to make that happen? Think about that number, and then think about reaching out to those people. There's that's what I know about all of that. I would love to invite you to sign up for the Skyrocket Your Engagement event on January 14th. And in fact, I think that link is in the description rather than the other one that I was talking about. Sign up for that bad boy, because we are going to have a whole lot of fun. I have a lot of games. We're going to meet in a totally new way. It is going to not be on Zoom. I know, right? Imagine. It is not going to be on Zoom. It's not going to be another Zoom day for you. We're going to play games. We're going to get crazy. And it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to also learn the three ninja strategies of engagement, and you're going to walk out with plans of your very own on how you can start affecting your marketing results immediately after you walk out of that. After you walk out of that thing, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to making the world a better place for entrepreneurs. That is my goal. And I know that we're going to do that with you on January 14th. A free event. Sign up for this bad boy, because you are going to have a wonderful time. So, my friends, that's about all I have today. Just wanted to get in there and talk to you a little bit, because you're some of my favorite people. I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to thank you for listening to me today and being active as always, and asking and answering questions and things like that. So, my friends, that's what I've got for on this day. Tomorrow, I may or may not be having some technical difficulties. I think I might have overscheduled myself, and I may need to reschedule that one. So there may not be a show at 10 tomorrow, but there will be at 10 Central on Friday. We're going to go over Friday wins. And Wow, I love that show. I love that show because people can bring their wins to me and tell me how awesome they're doing out there in the entrepreneurship universe. I have some wins to bring myself to the table this week. We're going to celebrate all of them. So bring your wins to me, 10 o'clock Central on Friday. And that's it for me for now. I will see you in a bot.